Morning, students. I hope you all are well, healthy, and fit, and enjoying your holidays. Today, we are going to start a new chapter in your grade. The name of the chapter is Animals and Their Young Ones. As we know that all living organisms breathe, eat, and grows. That's make different from non-living organisms. However, if an organism does not produce its own kind, then what happens? If the living organisms does not produce their young ones, then what happens? Then that particular kind or race of living organism will not exist anymore in the future, and organisms will disappear as old organisms dies. Therefore, to ensure the continuity of life, living organisms produce young ones. The process by which living organisms produce young ones is known as reproduction. What is reproduction? The reproduction is the process by which living organisms produce young ones is known as reproduction. Animals reproduce in two ways. They either give birth to young ones, or second, they lay eggs from which a young baby hatches out. So how many ways animals reproduce? Animals reproduce in two ways. They give birth to young ones, or they lay eggs from which a young ones or young baby hatches out. Now let's talk about egg laying animals. There are some animals such as fish, turtle, fishes, frog. These animals reproduce their young ones by laying eggs. That's why these animals are called egg laying animals. These animals that reproduce by laying eggs, these are called egg laying animals. Example: birds, turtle, fishes, frog, etc. These animals lay eggs at safe places. Some of these animals sit on the eggs to keep them warm. Under suitable condition, the egg breaks and the baby comes out of it. So what they do? First, these animals lay eggs at safe places, and some of these animals sit on the eggs to keep them warm. Under suitable conditions, the egg breaks and the baby comes out of it. Okay, now let's move forward to birds. Most birds lay eggs in their nest. After laying the eggs, usually one of the parent sits on them to keep them warm. This is known as incubation. What is incubation? After laying eggs in their nest, usually one of the parents sits on them to keep them warm. This is known as incubation, and this incubation helps the baby. This incubation helps the baby inside the egg embryo to develop. Once the baby is developed completely, the egg hatches and the baby bird comes out of it. So, the birds lay eggs in their nest. After laying eggs, the one of the parent sits on them to keep them warm. This is known as incubation. And incubation helps the baby inside the egg embryo to develop. Once the baby is developed completely, the egg hatches and the baby bird comes out of it. So this is how the baby comes out from the egg in birds. Now let's move forward to the internal structure of an egg. This is the internal structure of an egg. There is eggshell, egg yolk, egg white, albumin. Now let's read about it. The outermost hard protective covering of the egg is known as shell. As you can see that the outermost layer is eggshell. The shell protects the young one inside the egg. So the function of the eggshell is to protect the young one inside the egg. It's provide protection. Within the shell is a white, thick, jelly-like substance called albumin, also known as egg white. You can see that there is a white jelly-like substance, and this jelly-like substance called egg white or albumin. This albumin is a rich source of protein and it protects the developing baby. So basically this albumin is a rich source of protein and it also protects the developing baby. Inside the albumin there is a yellow round egg yolk. You can see that there is a yellow round egg yolk. This yolk is a rich in fat, vitamin and minerals, and the yolk contains a bright white spot that develops into the baby called chick. You can see that there is a white spot inside the egg yolk, and this egg yolk contains a bright white spot that develops into a baby called chick. So basically this white spot is a baby called chick, and the yolk provides nutrition to the developing young one. So there also egg provides the protection and the nutrition to the developing young ones. This is all about the structure of bird's egg. I hope you all are understand this topic. I'll give you a one worksheet and you have to complete that worksheet in your previous year science notebook. Thank you.